think ever since you've come into office, things are really looking up. You know, gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything. No, it really has been a tough first year for you, Mr. President. Gas is up, gas is up, gas is up, everything. Rent is up, everything, everything, everything. Gas is up, rent is up, food is up, gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. I was up in Studio B and had some technical difficulties, so I ran into the back closet, grabbed the old camouflage backdrop, and decided to sit down right here with you guys. Come hell or high water, by hook or by crook, we're going to get this show on the road. Woo! I tell you, what a day, what a start to the week. We're finding out just how generous the world's billionaires are. Hey, it is time to get down to it. If you're at subscribestar.com or at thepreparedmind.club, you can be here live every day. You can ask questions every day because I'm going to do my monologue and then your questions, we'll discuss them. Now, I caught this. And this is part of what the morning broadcast was about. Amazon is going to fire. Well, they'll use probably some flowery term like we're going to lay off. We're going to let go. We're going to furlough. We're going to change their employment status. They're going to freaking fire them, folks. 10,000 employees this week. If not this week, probably next week. But hey, just in time for the holiday season. That's right, folks. Just in time to screw everyone over. Amazon is going to fire 10,000 employees. But get this, folks. Jeff Bezos comes out and he says, I've got $124 billion and I'm going to give most of it away. Who is he going to give it to? Let's see. Orphaned children from the wars fought in the Middle East. Giving money to the Middle Eastern countries, right? $124 billion. That's more than the United States government has given away to Ukraine. It's more than the United States government gave to Afghanistan. Well, the Taliban, right? This is one man, $124 billion. He's going to give most of it away. Unbelievable amount of money, folks. He could fund a war with a major country like Russia, because that's exactly what America's doing, funding a war. He could give that money to Middle Eastern, African, and other Asian countries that are very poor and help millions and millions of people. Or he could give that money, most of the $124 billion, to his employees. He could pay them all better. He could pay them not to work for him. All the people he's laying off, he doesn't have to lay them off. He could use his $124 billion to pay the salaries of people that he hired and is now going to fire. But guess who he's giving it away to? Do you have a clue as to who is going to get the cashola? Guess who, folks? Charities. Charities that fight global warming. How are they fighting global warming? With tanks, with missiles, with bombs? Are they fighting global warming with solar panels or just a bunch of hot air and bullshit? Who is it that sponsors and sends that little clown, Gretchen, the climate Grinch, all over the planet? The World Economic Forum, folks. They want climate change fixed. And if we can't fix it, you pay a climate pollution tax. And they've been pushing this fucking tax since the 1990s, and Al Gore started his shit. They've been calling for a tax on pollution, a tax on carbon. You need carbon credits. Why? It's another tax. It's an international tax. So yeah, Bezos is giving away his money, folks. Most of $124 billion, not to help people, not to free countries from tyranny, but to fight global climate change. What a jackass this guy is. I mean, honestly and truly, how do you spend $1 billion? If you break it down every single day, let's see, $250,000 a day times 365 days, it's 728,000, 730,000. If he gave away $250,000 house every single day of the year, it would only cost him, that's right, $760,000. No, I did it wrong again. $730 million. He could give away $250,000 house every day to some American, 365 Americans, and spend less than $1 billion. He's got $124 billion. He could buy houses for thousands and thousands of people. That's Jeff Bezos. But no, he's going to give it away to a charity. Do you buy that shit? I don't buy it for 1 second. Folks, these people are screwed in the head. There's something quite wrong with them. Oh, by the way, Jeff Bezos gave $100 million in an award to Dolly Parton. You thought I was going to say your neighbor down the street. No, Dolly Parton, because she is a kind person. Well, hell, I could be kind for $100 million. Hell, I'll be the nicest person you ever met for $100 million. Unbelievable. Dolly Parton, she owns a thing called Dollywood, a theme park. Dolly Parton, who knows how much money she's making from royalties on Islands in the Stream, which is a song she used to sing as she swam down her back, down the river on her back. Unbelievable. What is going on? Jeff Bezos gives away most of his fortune to fight climate change, but he's laying off his workers at the same time. What an asshole. And speaking of assholes, Elon Musk. He is, right, you're either loved or hated by half the planet. If you're Jeff Bezos, half the planet thinks you're fucking great because you're fighting climate change. If you're talking Elon Musk, half the planet hates him because he's ruining Twitter and letting too much free speech. Anyways, he claims, Elon Musk, that he's working 7 days a week after taking over Twitter. That makes sense to me. Hey, you want to own more businesses? You get to work harder. You don't just get to buy a business and sit on your hands. Well, I guess you could when you're a mega billionaire like Elon Musk. But he did this to Twitter. He canceled their free lunches. I'm like, free lunches? I mean, number one, he's fired thousands of Twitter workers. Number two, he's fired thousands, 4,400 independent or individual contracting companies with Twitter. And now he's canceled free lunch. Who the fuck gets a free lunch? Not only do I, when I go to work, I've got to spend my own fuel. I've got to have my own lunch money or peanut butter or tuna fish or Spam sandwiches, right? Well, these people get fucking free lunch. And folks, I've heard about these new age woke companies. They have a quiet room in case you start to feel a little too stressed. You can go to a quiet room and kind of, feel better. If you need to take a nap, you can take a nap. That's right. You can take a nap. There's one place I heard of where they have a massage therapist on staff, a massage therapist for people who feel a little stress and tension and they want to go get a massage. Not a massage chair, a massage therapist. Every day I would take a nap. Every day I get free lunch. Every day I get some quiet time. Every day I take another nap. Every day I go get a massage. Whew. I guess we have to rely on the, what do we call it? The goodwill of these youths out there working. So Musk is showing them, hey, I work 7 days a week. No free lunch, you little bastards. Well, good. Tighten it down. But folks, it's all getting tightened down. It truly is. This morning's video was on all of these companies that are shutting it down. Let's see. Where was it at? All these companies. There we go. Here it is. All of the layoffs. All of the layoffs. Oh, there's no recession, right? We've heard that. The economy's roaring, says jackass Biden. Twitter laid off 50% of their staff. A company called Cameo, 25%. Robinhood, the investment firm, 23%. Intel, that's a big company there, 20% of their staff gone. Coinbase, 18%. Open Door, 18%. Stripe, which is another payment company, kind of like PayPal, 14%. Shopify, remember that company, Shopify? 10%. Meta, which is Zark Zuckerberg's Facebook evolved morphing monster, they've laid off thousands. Apple has a hiring freeze. Amazon, well, we've talked about Amazon. They had a hiring freeze, and now they're moving into 10,000. How long do you think before they all raise these even more? Well, we thought 10,000 would be enough, but we're going to go with 20,000, another 30,000. But there's no inflation. There's no problem with the profit margins. Go woke and you'll make a broke, right? That's how many times we got to see this play out. Let's hire a diversity hire staff, right? Don't hire competence. Don't work hard. Let's hire based on diversity and inclusion and go broke. These morons, folks, they're killing it. And by killing it, I don't mean they're kicking ass. I mean they're completely fucked up. Yep. So Goldman, T.S. Lombard, right? Other investment firms are confirming that a inflation target going up, not down, inflation going up is coming. It is coming. Now, as the thumbnail for this video shows, right, there are tens of thousands, if not 100,000 and more people in that picture on the thumbnail in Brazil. People that are like, no more. Brazil, nuh-uh. We're not going to fall for this shit, right? In America, folks, we have the same issues. Dozens of Arizonan Republican Nintendo players describe how their score wasn't counted, how their scores were tossed into a box, and how people were not even allowed to play Nintendo. We have some real crazy crap going on, folks. Serious crap going on. You know it. I know it. We all know it. What was it? 17%. Fuzzy sent this to me. It's an incredible number of people who didn't vote on the left. And we're just supposed to believe, yeah, it was incredible, right? 75% of the people, 3/4 of the American population are really pissed off with how things are going, but they voted for more of it. An incredibly small number of people actually showed up to vote for Democrats, and we're supposed to believe the story that's out there. Get your questions down below to Truman. Ooman. He is not Truman. He's Ooman. Get it into the Ooman there, and he is a true man. He'll get your questions up when your turn comes, folks, and it's coming. It's absolutely coming. Now, get this. You think America is bad? Right? We had some British guy in England talking a bunch of trash at the zoo last night. Well, why don't you guys fix things in Europe? You're every bit as screwed up as us, if not worse. France has now threatened Italy. Folks, that's like a mouse threatening a hamster. It's like, whoa, right? France threatened Italy with consequences because of their stubborn refusal in Italy to accept the hordes of migrants from shithole third world countries. They say that it's a lack of humanity on the part of Italy. Folks, if our economy in America is slowing down, the economy over in Italy is slowing down. The economy in Germany, France, Belgium, Switzerland, Norway, Finland, Poland, England, Sweden, up in Sverige. Yeah, it's all going bad. It's going down. but they're supposed to continue to accept all of these illegals and feed them and clothe them and house them, all at the expense of the taxpayers in Europe? Don't worry, folks. We've got our own version of this shit right here in America, because Biden, right, is continuing his policy of let's keep the border open and let everybody in, to the tune of 250,000 people. That's right, a month, folks. Not a year, but a month. Unbelievable. Anyways, Italy, if you recall a couple weeks ago, they elected a right-wing, ooh, so scary when you say it like that, actually a sovereign Italian nationalist, right? They want Italy to be sovereign, meaning independent, right? Nationalist, concerned about Italy and Italy first and then everyone afterwards, right? And she stood up and told everyone in the European Union off. No more migrants. Italy can't afford it. They've got problems already. So what are these consequences that France could do? I mean, France is just one country in the European Union. They're not the boss of me. They're not the boss of Italy. So who do they think they're talking to? Folks, when these countries are ruining themselves, they don't like it when other countries stop ruining themselves and say, you go ahead and keep punching yourself in the face. We're just going to sit over here and watch. It's like they've all taken a pact to destroy themselves. Why? Why has France and Germany and England and Scandinavian countries and Spain and Portugal, why have these countries engaged in a pact to destroy themselves by turning more and more socialist, more and more environmentalist, wacko, left-wing green bullshit, more and more open borders, let's bring in immigrants and pay for them? Why are they doing that to themselves? And then when one country says, we've had enough, they're like, we're going to punish you. Really? For not wanting to destroy our country? At some point, folks, you and I understand what's going on. They're trying to destroy Europe and destroy America and make us third world shitholes just like everywhere else. And then have a bunch of these third world shitheads in our country committing acts of violence, trying to ruin our culture, destroy our people, rape the women, right? And basically outpopulate us. You see, they can't win against the Constitution. Nope. They have to lie, cheat, and steal to try and defeat the Constitution. They need to outnumber us to pass constitutional amendments. That's their plan, folks. To destroy America, put in constitutional amendments, and wreck this country. Unbelievable where these jackasses are going. Right? Oh, by the way, they're playing Nintendo down in Maricopa County, Arizona. And a Nintendo judge there believes that the Nintendo game controllers were programmed to reject scores on election day. Now, all the Nintendo games worked the day before, folks. All the Nintendo games worked the day before, but on the day of the big Nintendo tournament last Tuesday, everything quit working. Was there a Trojan horse program installed to change the system over on election on Nintendo Day so things wouldn't work? Well, a Nintendo judge actually says, yeah, they believe that that's exactly what happened, that they had a program in there waiting for the date to change so it could screw up all of the Nintendo. Unfreaking believable. Now, let's change over to this. I want to talk about all kinds of shit it's the fan stuff, folks. Give me that back thing. Now, down in the Bahamas, folks, the police and the Bahamas version of the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, they call it the Securities Commission. They're looking into this FTX and all of the lost money and the fact that this other company run by this goober-looking kid called Alameda right? That it was front running everything. They're looking for evidence of wrongdoing. I mean, how can you not find evidence? This is set, folks, to blow up in their faces, but it's going to cost you your retirement nest egg if it's invested in this company, because they're not going to return the money. Do you think the big guy is going to give back his 10% and go, whoa, I didn't know that was bad stuff, right? They're taking money, laundering it through cryptos, laundering it through Ukraine, and then getting that money back and donating it to the Democrat Party in America. So they collect other people's money, they wash it offshore, bring it back onshore, and hand it to the Democrats for their election efforts. What does that tell you besides they're a bunch of cheating pricks? It tells you there's not enough people donating to the Democrat Party. People don't really care. They don't give a shit. They don't believe in what the Democrats are doing. People did not show up to play Nintendo with the Democrats. 17% of the overall players, that's it. Even if we gave them 25% of the players were Democrats, that means it should have been a massive Republican Nintendo sweep of the games. Yet it didn't turn out that way, did it? How is that possible, right? This article here is calling 17% turnout for the Democrats to play Nintendo. Yet somehow the Democrats are winning 50% of the Nintendo games. How is that possible? Right? Independents, they're 20%, 25%. How is it possible? Right? It's still less than 50%. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, folks. And are you buying this? Right? And are they actually going to investigate? Now, Elon Musk is even being a bit, shall we say, skeptical and cynical and says, well, right, they're gonna expose all of this, but the big guys, the big fish are not going to go to jail. They don't, folks. The big fish know it. And get this, 90 proof Nancy Pelosi, right? She is not going to announce her decision to run as House leader until all the results are in. Quote, I don't have any plans to step away from Congress. What a big freaking surprise. I mean, really, at her age, she doesn't have anything better to do. She doesn't have kids and grandkids and great-grandkids to go play with, little crumb crunchers to go play on her lawn. You'd think that she would have something else to do in her golden years other than destroy this country. But no, folks, that's her program. And she doesn't have any plans to step away from her program. Her legacy that she wants to hand to her family, the Democrat Party, the legacy she wants to hand to the World Economic Forum is, here's America. She helped destroy it for her entire life. Now, on the other side of the aisle, a former Freedom Caucus leader, right, the chairman, his name is Andy Biggs. He is going to launch a challenge against Kevin McCarthy for control of the Republican Party as the party leader for the Republicans in the House of Representatives. Now, this is what gets me. Why did there need to be a Freedom Caucus in the Republican Party? Literally. Why should there be a Freedom Caucus? Is freedom so unusual that they have to look around and go, oh my God, where's all the freedom lovers? We need a caucus just for those. You know, kind of like, well, this is the Black Republican Caucus, or this is the Hispanic Caucus, right? They're these little subgroups. We have a Freedom Caucus, right? The Republican Party should be about, well, to be a Republican, you're part of the Republican and the Freedom Caucus. And to be a Republican, you need to be part of the America First Caucus, because America should come first. Above and beyond all other countries, let's take care of our own problems, fix our own issues, solve our own quandaries, and then we can help the rest of the world when we've cleaned house here. But yeah, we got a Freedom Caucus. What does that tell you? How effed up, how SHTF'd up are we? Pretty bad, folks. It's pretty damn bad. All right. I hope you're getting your questions in down below because we're getting close to me being done. That's right. Me being done. Say it's not so. Say it's not so, folks. Get this. Speaking of things that aren't so, ding dong, Democrat socialist idiot, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She kind of describes herself as, a sex symbol because Republicans are obsessed with her. They're in love with her, and her paranoia, folks, is rampant. She is, quote, absolutely afraid for her life. She is a ding-dong, and if she goes away, everyone would love to forget about her. But she's offered us some of the most memorable lies and bullshit coming from the Democrats. Standing at a fence crying over nothing and pretending that there were cages full of children. It was a lie, all a lie. Saying that she was almost killed on January 6th, that she was in another building, not even in the Capitol building. Right? If she could, she would get some sort of Jussie Smollett award, right, for making up bullshit and lies. Yeah, we're so enthralled with you, AOC. We think you're a sex symbol. Unbelievable. The crazy bitch can eat an apple through a picket fence, folks. That's how fucking lunatic looking and sounding she is. But it's representative, I think, of how the Democrats think up in their heads. They all think we're very bad and that we're dangerous. She says, oh my God, I got to have my husband walk me to the car and come out to the car and get me. Oh, really? How about all the other people who have to do the same thing because crime is so rampant in D.C., Baltimore, New York City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right? Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or wherever the hell that one's at. Every big city, folks. Cincinnati, Cleveland, Chicago. Yeah, you better get someone to help get you from their house to the car. You could get carjacked or mugged or raped. But AOC thinks it's Republicans that are going to do that to her. That's how delusional she is, folks. She is a ding-dong. And one more. Let me continue. I can't stop. I can't do it. Right? Joe Biden. Reading from a list of pre-approved reporters. He's got 4 reporters he's ready to talk to in Bali while he's on his whirlwind tour of looking like an idiot and showing the world he's an idiot. He says, I'm having trouble reading this. Folks, he can't even read a piece of paper with pre-approved reporters to talk to who are going to ask a pre-approved question so he can give a pre-written answer that he reads. He can't even do that. And we're supposed to believe he's the president and that everybody likes what he's doing. Folks, he is owned. Biden is owned. I mean, imagine this. Imagine Biden and Fetterman having a conversation. Potato. Oh, yeah, potato. Oh, potato, right? I bet they could not hold a basic conversation about what flavor ice cream they like or how good it is to sniff kids' hair. I mean, you got Biden on the one hand who wants to take showers with kids, and you got Fetterman on the other who wants to abort them all before they're old enough to exit the womb. And even then, they think that babies, humans, don't have a right to live and that the mom can decide to kill them. That's how sick these people are. And Biden says, I'm having trouble reading this. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. In this day and age, folks. And one last thing before we jump over to your questions. Lee Zeldin, who lost to Kathy Hochul, governor of New York. He's taking calls, folks. He's making calls. He's wanting to get rid of Ronna McDaniel Romney. That's right, Mittens Romney, because She has blown 2 elections, completely blown it as what the head of the Republican Party. Apart from the president, right? There's someone who manages Republican Party, and guess what? It's another rhino. What a fucking surprise! Withholding money from America First to Make America Great Again candidates that love America and are patriots. The Republican Party, whether it's Mitch or Kevin or Rana, they're just ruining it. Absolutely ruining it. But this is important. We won, folks. We won. We won the election. And the consensus out there is that we need to defeat the uniparty. Right? Don't quit. Don't give up. Keep fighting. But there's so many ways we have to fight this. It's not just guns and bullets, folks. It's not just surviving food shortages and other crises like power outages, fuel crises, etc. We need to blast them with our beliefs and our willingness to participate. No apathy is allowed at this level of SHTF, folks. Be prepared for left-wing violence, though. Be prepared for false flags. But the consensus is, and it's going around, right? It's going around that we need to really step up our efforts even more. Not just during elections, folks, but all the time. We need a political upheaval in this country and a demand to fight back. Right? A demand to fight back. It is time that we continue, right? This same level of enthusiasm, anger, and support for freedom and liberty. Why anger? Because when you see and know what has happened, it should make you very, very angry. All right, let's do this. It is that time of the day, and we're going to go over to the Q&A.
Are you ready?
All righty, we got Ooman handling the helm, working the controls, taking questions. Let's step up with the first question. A couple of them are in 2 parts, I guess. So we're going to have some complicated discussions. Put on your thinking cap, grab a beverage, and get ready to get down. We got Greg Madera checking in. And he says, are Republicans really that stupid to think Democrats weren't going to play Nintendo and cheat at Nintendo again? Duh. Well, I don't think they are that stupid. I don't think they really thought that it was going to be fair. I think, though, that a lot of people who are not into politics and not paying attention, they probably figured any problems had been fixed. People who pay any attention know that that's not true. People that were paying some attention thought, well, other Republicans are going to watch and they're going to make sure bad things don't happen this time. That the Nintendo games are going to be much more fair. And they were sorely mistaken, right? We can all see that we were sorely mistaken. It wasn't even a close race, yet it was a close race because of, that's right, when people played Nintendo, they cheated. They cheated all across the country. In every district they controlled. In all the toss-up districts where they still had people working in the Nintendo poll system. Interesting, huh? But there are a lot of Republicans who, Greg, I don't know if I would call them stupid, but I might call them naive. I might call them Pollyannish. I might say they're inexperienced. While they may be great at what they do on a day-to-day basis in their job, their understanding of the situation, the political situation, the civics situation, folks, because the candidates are running on political platforms. The way the voting system works is based on civics structure. Who does the counting, after all? Has nothing to do with how many people are out there playing Nintendo and how many people are aware of how the Nintendo game is played. Once again, it's not how many votes you get, but who counts the votes. We need to get even more active, louder, more angry at this, not hiding, not agreeing. And that is why, exactly, folks, I have to say Nintendo, because I'm not allowed to use the V word. Once again, you can't use a V word. I can't say vaccine. I can't say vote in context to what has happened. I wonder why. Could it be that our ability to explain things, to articulate what exactly has happened, is so effective that so many people would believe it, that they would demand something be done? That's why they had to, folks, attack the January 6th action and call it insurrection, make everyone so conscientious of it, and to say, well, you're a denier, and to try and make that a bad word. Right. How about this? I think the Democrats are truth phobics. That's right. They're afraid of the truth. They're fact phobics. Right. They want to call us transphobics and gay phobics, homophobics. How about this? They're fact phobics. They're truth phobics. They're morality phobics. They hate morality. They're normal phobics. They hate normal things. Right. They have a negative normalcy bias. They hate facts. They hate truth. They hate morality. They hate decency. They hate the law. They hate civility. Think about it, folks. That truly is who they are. They hate civility. They want violence against the right. Right? You say something they don't like, they consider that an act of violence. They want to get their truth squad after you. Republicans, I don't think, are that stupid, folks, but there are a lot who are naive. That is why we need them to come here. That URL up there on YouTube, get the YouTube address for these videos and share them so they're less naive, more informed, more inspired to take action, right? Prep to action. You get prepared and then you start taking action instead of sitting back on the couch, right? And pretending everything will be fine until you wake up one day, there's a knock on the door. You go answer the door and it's the government. And you're like, what do you want? And they're like, we own you, your house, your children, your car, your whole life. Put out your hands. We're going to handcuff you and inject you with whatever the fuck we want. And you can't do anything about it. Does it have to get that bad before they do that? Sadly, for most people, yes. How many people do we need awake? Well, folks, we've scared the left. There's a lot awake right now. We've scared them. That's why they're trying to silence us and censor us. We've scared them. That's why they want to get rid of the Second Amendment, because they know we have a right to get rid of a tyrannical government. It is our right, as much as it's their right to create autonomous zones, and as much as it's their right to push for communism without any negative consequences. They should all be rounded up and tried in military tribunals for being communists in this country. Because everything about communism is anathema. It is anti-American and anti-constitutional. Just to be a communist makes you a instantaneous traitor. Because everything communism stands for is the opposite of everything that the Constitution stands for. All right, Uman, who do we have next? We've got Bezos, space company, Blue Horizons. He could spend it on that easy. Yeah, let's blow more money on the private space race. It's fascinating to me how the technology they need to explore space, they still haven't caught up to where they were in the 1960s. So either they were lying about their technology in the 1960s, Apollo, or they're idiots, or they're lying about the nature of space, the nature of Earth, the nature of physics. I guess they just lie a lot, government. But yeah, Bezos, why doesn't he help humanity? It's funny how these rich fucks continue to go, well, we're going to help humanity by sending ourselves into space. We're going to send people into space, the final frontier. Right? They're going to check out, folks. It's called breakaway civilization. They want to have their Elysium, their heaven, if you will, while we eat bugs. Let's move it along here, Uman. What do we got next? We got Vincent Boyle. with a statement. He says, going to a funeral tomorrow. Another friend who took the Jim Jones juice and took blood cancer. Whoops. I guess that happens. You know, you take the Jim Jones juice booster, the thing that 99 out of 100 Americans have refused to drink, right? The juice booster. And you get to play take a wild guess, right? Take a wild freaking guess. I'm very sorry to hear about your friend. Right? I had a friend recently pass. No answer given as to the cause as of yet. But I can take a wild freaking guess. Guy's in great shape, works out, good shape, happy, positive, nice, sensitive guy. Gone. All right. Thank you, Vincent, and condolences to you, brother. And hopefully people learn their lessons. We got Eli in the Wolverine stating, he says, billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried. That would be the guy with FTX who managed to lose $10 billion. He donated more than $40 million to Democrat candidates and a network of super PACs. This year, the super PACs are political action committees. They collect money. They persuade candidates with their money, right? So, yeah, billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried. He was on yesterday's thumbnail. He's the fuzzy-headed nerd who looks like he still doesn't have any fuzz on his little coconuts, right? How are these young people getting so much control of wealth? They just start a company and go, yeah, we're an investment company. Send your money in. We'll get you lots of stuff. Well, they've literally crashed, folks. Crashed a portion of the economy and wiped out the wealth of many, many people. But he donated $40 million to Democrat candidates. Don't worry. It's all good. It's all on the up and up. You don't need to worry about that a bit. Thank you, Eli, very much. Now, he says the price of electricity went up. This means no crypto mining because of electricity costs. Now, crypto exchanges are going bust. Crypto is based on electricity. Takes more electric than the crypto is worth. I'll tell you what. Yep, let's go on with the Eli and the Wolverine state. He says, Digiconomics, Bitcoin Energy Consumption Index. It is estimated that one Bitcoin transaction takes up to 2,277 kilowatt hours of electricity to complete. In other words, mining one coin is 78 days of power. It's a lot of power, folks. It's a lot of power to create one transaction, not to create a coin, but to solve one transaction. How is this good for the carbon green world? How is it good? I just still am at a loss for the value. I could spend, folks, billions of dollars digging up the Earth's crust, looking for unobtainium. You're like, John, there's no such thing as unobtainium. Exactly, but I want to obtain it. I could spend millions, billions, or trillions of dollars. And if I found, let's say, a tiny bead, I spent billions and trillions of dollars, and I got some beads. I was like, look at those are beads of unobtainium. This is worth $100 trillion because that's how much mining cost there was in obtaining this unobtainium. My question to you is that unobtainium really worth that money just because it costs that much to get it? If it provides no benefit, no power, it can't do anything, can't be used industrially, can't perform any function, does nothing. What the hell is the point of it? What the hell is the point of a lot of this, folks? It is a money pit. So be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you invest in. Do your very best to stay informed. There are, folks, going to be cryptocurrencies. There are going to be cryptos that have value, that can do things, actually accomplish tasks. But we're a long way from, I think, what I would call a good answer as to what the hell is going on. I called this years ago. I said, when shit hits the fan and it affects us economically, we're going to see the world's largest wealth transfer ever. The largest transfer of wealth ever. From those who have little bits, they'll be taken from them, and they'll be transferred to those who already have a lot, and they'll have a whole lot more. The wealth transfer has started. Inflation, 10%. 10% of America's wealth is now gone. Who gets it? See, wealth isn't destroyed, folks. It's transferred. When a bank goes bust, it's not like that money was lost. The money that the bank had, the assets that it had, are transferred to someone else, right? Just because I die. Let's say I had $1 million in gold coins. Sure wish I had $1 million in gold coins. $1 million in gold coins. When I die, the gold doesn't disappear. It doesn't go poof into the ether. You can't take it with you. So if I die or you die, your $1 million in gold goes to hopefully your children or your spouse or whatever, not to a bank. But when a bank dies, its wealth doesn't go either. It gets transferred to somebody else, right? The bank goes kaput, dies. Your mortgage doesn't just disappear. Somebody else gets to own that mortgage, and you get to pay them instead. That's how this game is played, folks. Anyways, Eli, thank you very much. Yep. Let's do this. I think we've got some good ones. Man, who do we want to toss up next? We've got Cottage Farm. LOL, laughing out loud. Amazing, firing 10,000 employees because that department is not profitable. But we're all in this together. Right. They're going to get rid of some in the Alexa department. They're going to get rid of some in, human resources. Funny how human resources has been determined to be non-essential. What does human resources do? Well, they hire people, they fire people, they chastise people, they handle training. They want to make sure everyone's trained up. They want to make sure company policies are all printed really nicely and pretty, stapled and collated and put in binders. Human resources. Well, if they're not going to be hiring very many people because they have a hiring freeze and they're firing people, yeah, they're going to need less HR, I guess. But what is HR supposed to do? It's supposed to save us from evil sexists and people who are bigots, right? By offering all that training and make sure that pretty pieces of paper are stapled at all the break room areas and bulletin boards about how to be inclusive and how not to be prejudicial and how to be tolerant of the wackos that work amongst you. Right? That's what HR does. They're getting rid of it. Does that mean, folks, that Amazon is going to quit being an inclusive corporation? I don't know. We're going to find out, folks. But I have a feeling that these corporations are going to do a lot more than get rid of their HR departments. They're going to start getting rid of people who are dead weight. If you're not productive, whoosh, you're out of here. Who do you think is going to go first? I know there's going to be a lot of people that are politically unsavory and unlikable. They'll probably go first or be amongst the first to go. But how about all of those idiots who want a paid lunch, who want to have a nap room, who want to leave early on Friday, every Friday, and get paid for it? Those are the people who are going to be gone because they're non-productive. What's amazing to me is that for how many years in companies like Amazon and Twitter and Facebook and Meta and UPS and FedEx and IBM and Intel, how many years have these people held high-paying jobs at Google and YouTube and eBay and been unproductive, non-working idiots who think they're saving the world by snitching on you and getting you kicked out of social media. These people are dangerous, folks. Thank you, Cottage Farm. Great topic. And we've got more on that coming, by the way. Who do we got next? It is more from Heidi, who just celebrated her 39th birthday the other day. Congratulations, Heidi. She's got a question. She said, didn't Europe fight a long war to get rid of the Moors? And now they're just letting them in. Folks, the Moors were, this was back in about 1900 AD to 1000 AD and 1100 and 1200. The Moors were Africans from northern Africa who moved along the coast. They invaded Europe via Portugal and Spain, and they moved along the coast and attacked them in France, where Charlemagne the Great stomped them. And that's how he became known as Charlemagne. Charles, the Mane, Charlemagne, long flowing hair. Here we get into the Merovingian thing, right? And on the other end, also, folks, the Moors did invade Sicily and Italy and Greece and southern, or shall I say, Mediterranean Europe. But along the eastern side of Europe, that's where the Turks came in. Suleiman and his people invaded Europe, went up into Transylvania and got stopped by Vlad Dracul, right? Vlad the Impaler, as well as going into Hungary and Romania and getting stomped there. Made it as far as, I think, Vienna, and got their asses kicked and handed back to them. They've been trying to invade Europe for centuries, for well over a millennia, right? 1,000 years. And now the European countries are inviting. I don't know if we want to call them the Moors anymore, because the Moors carried with them their own religion, their own belief systems, their own culture. That culture, that belief system is gone. You could say it was Muslim if you want. There's a lot of Muslim influence in there. Same with the Turks, but yeah, it was a war against Christianity. It was a war against the West, against Europe, against European belief systems, law, order, government, etc., culture, religion. And now the war is still being fought. And it was a long war to get rid of the Moors. See, people are upset. Why didn't we defeat everyone in the election and just be done with it all in one shot? Folks, the battle against the Moors was centuries long. Centuries long. The battle against Muslim invasions, centuries long. The Crusades, fighting back down, fighting down into the Holy Land to try and free it from control by the Saracens. Long time, right? Cost of many lives, much fortune. Anyways, now they're letting them in. Now they're encouraging him. Now they're paying him to come in, Heidi. All right, we got another one here from Uman. He says, it's from Cottage Farm. He says, what if Elon, meaning Elon Musk, said, game on, America, it's time. Time for what? To talk more and more and more and more. But what if Elon said some more like Minutemen? So what if Elon sounded more like Minutemen? Is that what we're asking here? Is that what we're discussing? What if Elon said, let's go back to the first part of that again, if we can. Game on, America, it's time. This is interesting, folks. I think what we're going to try and poke at here is, what if Elon was more like John Hancock? Right? The richest man in America during colonial America said, hey, let's do one of those Declaration of Independence things, which was actually the first time in history. But what if Elon Musk said, it's time for a declaration of freedom, a declaration of independence, right? The states, the people want to be independent of a tyrannical form of government that has grown up like a cancer, feasting off its host and declaring itself to be sovereign and all-powerful, right? What if Elon Musk said, yeah, it's time. Let's get it on. It's time for, right, that. Well, because he is rich and wealthy, he's going to have a voice that a lot of people would hear, and a lot of people, I think, would follow. Interesting that, yeah, it would be Elon Musk, he's foreign born. I know he's American now, but Elon Musk being foreign born. See, when people come here from other countries and they want freedom, they protect freedom. They respect freedom because they come from a place that doesn't have it. And so they come to America and they're like, we love this idea of freedom and opportunity. While we have other people that come from shitty ass countries like Ilhan Omar, and they want to bring their shitty ass systems of life over here and import it. They hate America. We've got both sides, folks. But what if Elon said, it's go time? What if Elon said, let's get the Minutemen together? What if Elon said, we need to sign a declaration of freedom? What if Elon said, we need to sign these pieces of paper? Would you, folks, sign a declaration of freedom from United States government control? Would you sign it knowing that you would become a target? Right? Would you sign on to a piece of paper saying you're willing to pledge your lives, your families, and your fortunes for freedom from tyranny? How many people would say no, not a chance, not a chance? I think a lot of people would say no, not a chance. But we're supposed to believe that it's good for Ukraine to say we're going to fight against tyranny, against the Russian tyranny. And your lives, your family, and your fortune, they're all on the line, and you better do it or you're not a patriot. See the hypocrisy of the left there and the hypocrisy of the rhinos? They want those people to fight for their so-called freedom from tyranny. But here in America, we're supposed to believe that tyranny is just fine because it's Democrat tyranny, because it's World Economic Forum sanctioned tyranny. I've talked in the past at some length about these powerful forces at the very top. And they are competing with each other for influence over what is happening in this world. They're competing for influence. Isn't that interesting? I find it fascinating. It's also scary, right? What if Elon Musk were to say, hey, right, you guys make me your king and I'll take care of you. Would you trust someone like that who says, I want freedom for you, but I get to be king, right? I get to be president for life. Right? We have to be very careful what we're asking for, what we're looking for, what we're watching for, folks. Uman says, I think if Elon said something like that, he would be at a black site within hours. A black site meaning an off-the-grid, extra-constitutional prison. You know, basically Guantanamo Bay, except nobody can come look for you. Right? There are no international human rights experts allowed at these black sites. And they exist, which is another reason I do not plan on allowing myself to be arrested. No, thank you. I don't plan on allowing myself to be arrested because I'm sure that I would go to a black site. Much like the January 6th protesters, we're told they're in Washington, D.C. in that prison. But you can't go visit them. You can't see them. They aren't allowed to have proper legal representation. Their food is garbage. The cleanliness of their cells is, by all accounts, horrid, unhealthy, unsanitary, and just absolutely disgusting. But, you know, that's okay because these are awful, awful Republicans who love freedom. But Ukrainians who love freedom, they're the good guys. They're the freedom fighters. We need to support them by giving them all our money, says George W. Bush and Obama and Biden and Senator Light and the Loafers Lindsey Graham and dipshit Senator Romney and dipshit Representative Pelosi and ex-President Hillary Clinton. Folks, It's unbelievable. Unbelievable what's going on. You're going to fire 10,000 people at Amazon, but give away over $60 billion. $60 billion. Just give it away to fight climate. Fight climate crisis, climate change. You want to fight climate change, folks? Tell all the rich people that they can't fly around in private jets, that they have to fly in public jets. They have to fly TWA or Delta. I don't think TWA is around anymore. American Airlines, Southwest, JetBlue, and no having a seat that takes up 4 or 5 normal seats. No, you get to sit in coach with everyone else. If you want to travel by jet, you got to make sure we have the smallest carbon footprint, period, if you want to fight climate change. Otherwise, you're a fucking hypocrite and they're a bunch of liars. Oh, I think we hit that nail right on the head. Folks, chance favors the prepared mind is yours. I'll be back 0 dark 30 tomorrow when I blast out of the bunker. Well, first I got to get back down into the bunker. Right now, like I said, I'm just outside of Studio B in front of the camouflage curtain. But you guys be cool, and I will see you first thing in the morning. Pay attention, wake up, and of course, prep to action. Do not think we lost. Do not give up. We know what evil has happened. We know what cheating has occurred. Nintendo is not something that should ever be taken lightly, right? And we need to exercise our power and authority and continue to scare the shit out of the leftists by being free, talking free, sounding free, and in all ways, folks, being red-blooded constitutional Americans. Semper Fi.
Are you ready?